So I have come across this interesting and well, rather uninformed tweet that asks, who the fuck uses YouTube Music? And as a YouTube Music user myself, I said, well, me, as I'm sure many other people do. But this is something I've had a lot of thoughts about throughout the years, especially while there are other services like Apple Music, Spotify, and Tidal, all of them. So here's the thing with YouTube Music and why I think it's perhaps the most underrated and perhaps the best music service out there. Now, before listening to the reasons, a few things for context. As the self-proclaimed Apple fanboy that I have always been, I of course subscribe to, well, Apple Music. Not only that, I subscribe to Apple One, which is like the all-encompassing service that gives you a bunch of stuff. Perhaps we can talk about that some other time. So understanding that Apple Music is how I primarily consume music, here's why I think YouTube Music is really, really good. First of all, let's go over prices of them all. First of all, Spotify, arguably the most popular service out there, is $12 a month in the US. Apple Music, on the other hand, is $11 a month. And this brings us to YouTube Music, which is also $11 a month. But this is where things get interesting. Because YouTube Premium, which is the service where you get to pay in order to watch YouTube without all the ads, it's only $14 a month. You do get some original content, but primarily the main benefit is you get to watch YouTube without the ads. And that to me is worth it enough. But the reason I say it's interesting is because if you do pay for YouTube Premium, well, you also get YouTube Music as a result. So you might be hearing all of this and thinking, well, why bother with YouTube Music where Spotify has exclusive podcasts and all the library that I could possibly ever listen to, and kind of the same thing with Apple Music, minus the podcast. And I will say this under the assumption that you're paying for YouTube Premium. Again, totally worth it. And I promise you, I don't work for YouTube. I'm not being sponsored. They're not paying me. You might be thinking, well, doesn't YouTube Music have the same library as Apple Music and Spotify? So why would I want that? And the truth is, yes, they have pretty much all the same music. But here's the thing that really sells it to me, and the reason why I think it's the most underrated service of them all. And it is because of regular YouTube. This is why it's important to be subscribed to YouTube Premium. So if you're anything like me and you're listening to music, and of course you listen to albums and singles and so on, while you're browsing and searching through YouTube for, say, a particular version of that one song that this one band played live that one time, whether it was professionally filmed or just someone with a phone just recording at a show, and you really like that version, well, you can go to YouTube and watch it. Well, all of those videos, I mean, every single full-length end-to-end show and single songs that people have recorded at shows from various angles with poor quality, okay quality, and also amazing sound quality are also available on YouTube Music. So I will give you a very real and poignant example. Right now, I'm training for a marathon. And when it comes to doing long runs, I like to build very long playlists of the music that I want to listen to while running. Well, I listen to a lot of metal and a lot of electronic music. That means that I could make a playlist on Apple Music, sure. But that also means in my specific case that if I want to listen to a full-length show by Gojira or Meshuggah, along with a few tracks from Justice, who is now currently on tour, for example, and they're doing all these like cool mixes only at their live shows that's not available in any platform because it's not on any album yet, I get to make a playlist with songs from albums, songs from singles, and some of those live versions that sometimes, in my opinion, sound way better than what's on the album. Whether it was professionally filmed with the sound from the soundboard or just some fan who just uploaded it to YouTube. So that makes YouTube, and therefore YouTube Music, the biggest repository of every possible version, sometimes way better versions of any song or any show that you could potentially imagine. Like there is really no competition. No one has that kind of library. So whether it's a stripped down version of a song you really like a super bombastic live version from like an entire show that you can find on YouTube, or just a portion of that show, or that one performance at that one TV show from that one band that it's on YouTube, well, you can also just listen to it on YouTube Music. Or just regular YouTube, because of course, one of the advantages is that you get to listen to all the audio with the locked screen on your phone. And there are other things like the ability to download videos, or in the case of YouTube Music, well, the audio to listen to while offline, which of course all the other services have, but again, the library, the amount of possibilities. So to me, it is that one thing that makes YouTube Premium, and therefore, of course, YouTube Music, vastly underrated and a very, very good deal for the money. So going back to the tweet that sparked all this, the user is saying, well, you only get YouTube Music because it counts with YouTube Premium, therefore you're all poor. First of all, very poor taste. But it does make me think that if you were in a position in which you could only pay for one service, or you just choose to pay for one service, frankly, YouTube Music is the only one that I would pay for. More specifically, YouTube Premium along with YouTube Music. It would be the equivalent of my desert island disc, except for streaming services. if you could get signal on an island. Anyway, so now after hearing all of this, would you try YouTube Music or YouTube Premium, or are you already a subscriber? What do you think? Let me know in the comments. And once again, this video was not sponsored by YouTube in any way, shape, or form. These are all my own opinions and what I really think about YouTube Music. Although, YouTube, if you're watching, DMs are open. Let's chat.